We decided to come down here for intensive when John was at 6 months post-stroke. But I did look across the country, and the reason why I decided intensive 1 would be the thing we needed to do for John is, one, he was getting very frustrated in Seattle. Therapy was just going very slow. I didn't feel like his therapists, even though they were competent people, really understood his challenges or even challenged him enough. John is an extremely intelligent, very dedicated, very driven person, and so many times they treated him like he was either a child or they treated him like, he was well into his 80s. He's not. He's 55 years old. Well, when I reviewed it with John, he really liked the curriculum. Curriculum. And he liked what they, when you go online and you look and see sort of the questions you ask in the application, he liked the questions that you asked. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What kind of book do you want to read? Those types of things. And he liked that it seemed serious. John wasn't interested in doing art therapy or music therapy. For him, those just weren't good matches. And for me, it was when I made the phone call. I spoke to Brian at the admissions desk, and I felt an instant connection, not only because he's a caregiver too, but completely understood the challenges of aphasia. And that was the first time I've come across that in the medical community. It was from a personal perspective, not just, oh yes, of course, I understand what aphasia is. Here's the textbook explanation. I know what that is. That wasn't what I was looking for. I just want John to be able to have some independence, because right now he still relies on me a lot, and that's very frustrating for him that he just doesn't have remotely the level of independence he had before. So for him to get independence, some freedom, and to be happy, to find some new hobbies, although he has been able to pick up a few things that he wasn't doing in Seattle that sort of tie into things that he did before. So that's really good. John was a little nervous about coming. I mean, like the night before he started, we came and we peered in the windows, just to see where you're going. What is this going to be like? We didn't really know. We weren't sure if I was going to be in sessions with him. So he was a little nervous. He, I think, was investing a lot emotionally and mentally into what this program would be. And it's really a good fit for him. And John isn't someone he doesn't want people saying he's doing good if he's not. He's not someone who thrives on that sort of behavior. And so everybody was very professional. So we got to meet a variety of different therapists who had every approach was a little different, but everybody was very professional and very honest about his level of speech or language and where he was, where they thought he could be. And sometimes they kind of give him a push, and sometimes they work him really hard, and sometimes he'd even get angry. I can't do that, but then he'd do it. And so there was a lot of push and pull, but that really got him going. It got him fired up, and he wasn't fired up anymore. One thing that, of course, has been a gift is having some time just to explore the city, read a book. I actually signed up for yoga, which I've never done before. So just the opportunity to do something new that was for me was, you do what you have to do in life to make things happen and make things right and take care of someone. But sometimes, well, maybe not even sometimes, it's easy to forget that you have to take care of yourself too. And I was definitely someone who forgot. And right before we came down, I had just a major meltdown. And that was the first real one I had. And so I realized being here, because now I don't feel that way at all, but just having that little bit of time to reset a little bit was huge. Huge. And I know just through that I'm a better caregiver, and John and I have a better relationship because I'm more relaxed. And so that's helped, knowing he's in good hands, and I don't have to constantly be questioning, is this the right person? Is this the right homework? Is this the right task? Because I do that all the time in Seattle. Being here it's the first time since his stroke that I went, I have made the right decision. And now he is smiling again. He's joking, which he wasn't doing post-stroke at all. And he's hopeful. Like, he's the one that you're coming back down in 6 months. And he was the one that I thought I'd have to bring that up. And he was like, no, when are we going to come back? So that is huge. And he can write. He wasn't writing at all in Seattle. He could sometimes write a letter for something, like the start of something, like his name, like he could do the start of his name. But now, if we get stuck on something and we're trying to communicate, he'll write it out, which is, huge. And then he's using the Kindle to listen and follow along, because it highlights his World War II books. He loves to read a World War II biography. And so none of that was happening in Seattle. And that's something that's an interest of his. So it was so nice to see him return to something he enjoys doing. He had a bigger vocabulary before we left Seattle, but he couldn't connect the words. So even though he could get individual words out, sometimes you still just couldn't follow what he was trying to tell you because he couldn't connect enough words to make it coherent. And so now I'm starting to take it for granted because he'll get like 3 sentences out in a row. Not always, but he's clearly comprehending better. And so in response to that, he's now connecting words together, which he didn't do before.